This pandemic means a lot of big moments are being celebrated from home, but there's a graduating class in North Texas using social media and some creativity to their advantage. Before we share how, we want to hear from you. Is there anything that you are celebrating at home? We want you to let us know how you're getting creative to do it. You can always reach out to us on social media, or you can text us at 713-526-1111. A very good Saturday morning to you. I'm Brandy Smith, working from home, obviously. A lot of us are looking to the opportunities to get out of the house, but Addison, today might not be the day to do it, right?
Yeah, especially Brandy later on in the evening hours, where we do anticipate seeing some possible strong to severe thunderstorms to come our way. But for the time being, we are watching that area of low pressure that's going to kick off that severe weather later on today. Sitting out there across the western portion of Texas, just starting to get its act together. We're seeing an onshore flow push on in, some moisture across southeastern Texas, with just some scattered clouds to be found, mainly south and east of the loop as you're going right around I-10, heading eastward in towards the Louisiana border. Temperature-wise outside, we got 58 degrees in Livingston, 60 degrees in Tomball. We have some low 60s to low 70s as you get down there towards West Columbia and the Galveston area. Throughout your planner, you have to definitely take into consideration, if you're going to go out and about today, do so early on. It's nice and pleasant with a mix of sun and clouds. By midday, we do increase those scattered shower chances. Temperatures getting up into the mid 70s. And then, Brandy, later on tonight, storms do develop mainly north and west of the city.
We know you'll keep an eye on those for us. Thank you, Addison. Now to the latest on the coronavirus. We want to give you the 3 things to know right now. First, more than 18,500 Americans died from the virus, and about 500,000 are infected right now. President Trump says the situation is stabilizing in some of the major hotspots. Those include Detroit and New Orleans. Number 2, we have 4,780 cases in the Houston area, but hundreds of recoveries as well. It's important to note that. Houston and Harris County report 485 patients recovered, along with 76 in Montgomery County, 91 in Galveston County, and 70 in Brazoria County. Number 3 here, parks are closed this weekend. Mayor Turner and Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo shut down the city and county parks for the weekend. They say social distancing is working. They want to make sure gatherings this weekend, including church services, don't jeopardize that. Now we want to give you a live look at NRG Park, where construction is underway to create a field hospital. Now, this is meant to be a last resort. It's something everyone involved hopes is not going to have to be used, but the field hospital will take patients if hospitals get overwhelmed. And for the past few weeks, we've been talking about a major shortage in personal protective equipment for healthcare workers, the folks who are on the front line. Our Michelle Choi shows us how local companies are stepping up to help. Brandy, during this critical time, our healthcare workers need personal protective equipment more than ever. Well, 2 local companies are answering that call by producing thousands of plastic face shields. And they're being made from these repurposed 3D printers. Soon, 10,000 face shields will be sent to healthcare workers at Memorial Hermann. Baker Hughes, a Houston-based oil and gas company, and TXRX Labs have teamed up to make this possible to aid in the fight against COVID-19. Both companies have converted their 3D printing capabilities and operations to focus on making desperately needed personal protective equipment.
And speed was really the message we got, understanding that we're in lockdown and we still probably haven't hit peak, or we're just getting to peak.
Both companies now have the capability to produce thousands of these shields per day.
The CDC has relaxed a lot of these requirements, right? Because it's better to have something than nothing.
And it doesn't just end at face shields. TXRX Lab says it's also producing intubation boxes, which are placed over COVID-19 patients to protect healthcare workers from germs in the air. Brandy, back to you. Thank you, Michelle. It's amazing to see those companies step up. But until those supplies arrive, hospitals still have to find a way to keep their staffers safe. And at Memorial Hermann, they're doing something they have never done before. They're reusing medical masks. Every N95 respirator worn by doctors and nurses across the Houston area is being sent to one place to be sanitized. Those masks get hung up one by one, then every surface of each mask is cleaned. It is a tedious and time-consuming process, but hospital administrators say it's worth it.
So passionate about it because they know that these masks are going back out to their friends and coworkers and the Memorial Hermann work family, and they want to make that the very best product going out as possible.
Once the masks are hung, the sanitizing process takes less than 2 hours. So far, the hospital's been able to reprocess more than 9,000 medical masks. So this week, we learned that 16 million Americans are out of a job. That's a scary number, but that doesn't mean that no one is hiring. Erica Proffer shows us where the jobs in Texas are.
The Texas Workforce Commission wants you to apply for jobs at workintexas.com, and people are following that advice. But there are 3 active resumes per job opening on the site. Most jobs are for nurses, computer programmers, managers. Take in the location. Something in your field may not be in your area, but there is hope and some good tips. Listen in on this Austin Chamber of Commerce webinar with employers looking to hire.
We have 30% of our workforce that does not have a college degree. We see that as a diversity stat.
And there are jobs within Austin Energy as well that do not require a specific degree. Identify the things that you have been doing. There are so many people that do a lot of work day to day in their community.
Have a LinkedIn profile that's relevant and up to date and it matches your resume is super important.
Keep it industry agnostic so that you aren't overlooked for searches. When you put too much industry jargon in there, it doesn't trigger the right searches for recruiters.
Get really familiar with Zoom and Zoom tools that are available.
Dress as if you were in person.
Look professional, to pay attention to detail, to be thorough, to do your homework.
Take the time to thank you after an interview. A personalized thank you goes a long way.
If it's a skill that you've been doing for a long time, what does that look like in another sector?
And there's different certification options out there.
Training is a lot of it can be done virtually.
I think it's just important to stay true to who you are and what would that look like in another setting.
We have a link to this webinar and hiring sites online. I'm Erica Proffer.
So important, Erica. All right, we are in this together, so let it celebrate the good that is happening right now. And there are so many examples. A quick reminder that a simple act of kindness can really go a long way. Here's an example. So Carla Hudson went to her Trader Joe's in Portland, Oregon. She got overwhelmed by the line around the store. Her husband Stu was at home recovering from a second kidney transplant, and she got panicked about COVID-19 and infecting him. Well, an employee offered to shop for her.
Brought my groceries out to my car. I loaded them in my car. He asked about my family and how I was doing, and he just took one of those moments that you find yourself feeling so overwhelmed and so vulnerable, and he turned it into something that was just sweet and generous.
That employee says when he heard about Carla's husband, he thought about Mr. Rogers' famous advice to kids dealing with scary times. Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. A reminder that we can all be those helpers. Now let's head to Round Rock, where every night during the shift change, the community holds a parade outside St. David's Round Rock Medical Center. Car after car carries signs, honks, and shouts words of support for the healthcare workers who are on the front line of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're here to show them that we appreciate them, that we support them, that they are the real heroes in this whole situation.
That is organizer Jen Henderson. The parade loops around the hospital 3 times, honking and waving at nurses, doctors, and patients. She says every night the group gets a little bigger. And in Dallas, a church moved its congregation from the pews to the parking lot of Baylor Scott and White Hospital. Gateway Church has already given the hospital $100,000 for personal protective equipment. Thursday, its members added another layer of protection with prayer. And we know there are so many examples of stories like that in our community. If you see one you want us to share, something that you think could make other folks smile, let us know. You can reach out to us on social media with the hashtag HTownRush, or you can always text us at 713-526-1111.